Good morning. Monday morning coffee. Today, Monday, April 8th. Man, that goes fast. That is absolutely amazing. And I've got a lot of stuff that I would like to share with you today, as always. But today, what we're going to talk about is do your work. And I'm gonna read a text from Dean Briggs, which he's talking about doing your work. And that part is very, very interesting because I'm going to mix this with another thing, which is entering into the spirit of what you're doing and understanding how spirit works. It will, if you mix both together, you will be able to start creating the type of results that you want to have every day. So that's what I'm going to share with you today on this second, actually. It is the second Monday of the month of April. Good morning. People start joining in. Good morning. How everybody doing this morning? This is wonderful. So, how was your week? I just came back from Guadalajara, one of my favorite cities because there's so much happening there. It is a big city, but it's still relatively small compared to a city like Mexico City, for example. And there's so much happening there. And we stayed in the area of Americana, which is a colonia. It's an area absolutely phenomenal. Just love this area. And we had a phenomenal event last Wednesday. About 100 attendees. Shaped a lot of mind and help people like to go to where they want to go. And we, like, every time I go to an event of that nature, we always have new clients, people that want to move forward and start leading their field, which, by the way, the text that I'm going to read to you, do your work, it's in one of our program, which is called Lead the Field. By the way, if you want to know about this, just DM me and I'm going to share with you, what is that program. Absolutely amazing. This is actually the program that Bob Proctor helped Bob Proctor to go exactly to where he is now. He's been studying this for years and still studying it today. So it's a phenomenal program, still up to date. And I really love the new version that we created. Help you to get to where you want to go. But now, Monday, today, normally we're releasing a new podcast. We're not going to release any podcast this week. What I suggest you to do is to listen to the podcast from last week with Lani Now, which it's an amazing podcast. That's a girl which was living in Orange Country, was living the rat race, and was absolutely fed up of her life, and just decided to sell everything, drop everything, and then move to Bali. And she's a badass. And that's the title of the podcast. So just go to our podcast, After Dark with Marc, and then you can listen to it. And don't forget, you need to give us a thumbs up, 5-star, write a review, and then share. So more people know about podcasts. The podcast is all coming from the idea that every time that you're going to do something, you're going to experience fuck-ups, okay? So that's just part of life, man. You have to realize that things won't unfold exactly as you see them to unfold. Now, they will over time, but as you're moving forward, you're going to experience things that's not going to go as you want, and you've got to embrace those. Those are learning process. They are learning experience that you need in your success. So just make sure that you're embracing all this. Now, tomorrow we're going to have a webinar, and I'm very pumped about this webinar because it's going to help a lot of you if you're having a business, if you have been working on your business for a couple of years and you have been moving And now you're at the point where that the business owns you. You don't own the business. The business is owning you. And you don't have any time for yourself. And you're just feeling like burnt. And I know a lot of you are feeling this way, because that is exactly what happened to me. And a lot of my coworkers, colleagues have happened as it happened to them as well. You know, we get into this business, it's going really, really well. You see a lot of progress in your business, you're getting more clients, and now all of a sudden you're hitting a wall. And you're just like, oh my God, you know, you have to work all the time. And then trying to create administration and process and this and that. And now you're just feeling that you're overwhelmed. Well, this is exactly what we're going to talk about, because we experiment a lot of things over the years. And now we found a formula which works. And you will be able to implement this into your own business. So just come to this webinar tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Wherever you are, you can join. If I'm going to put a link later on into this, so you can join this. It is a must. If you want to move your business to 7 figures, if you want to move your business to not be a slave of your company, you've got to listen to this, because that is going to give you a lot of help, and it's going to help you to get your business to the 7 figure, and as well, like, continue to where you want it to be when you decided to become an entrepreneur. Because if you're a slave of your business, if you're a slave of your basically your enterprise owns you, you're just having another job. And that is not the idea why you decided to become an entrepreneur. So make sure that you come, and I'm going to share this with you. So do your work. Not just your work and no more, but a little more for the lavishing sake. That little more which is worth all the rest. And if you suffer, as you must, and if you doubt, as you must, do your work. Put your heart into it, and the sky will clear. And then out of your very doubt and suffering will be born supreme joy of life. Do your work. Now, why am I reading this? Yesterday I was watching a video from Tim Ferriss. I don't know if you're familiar with Tim Ferriss, but he wrote the book, The 4-Hour Week. And Tim, when he decided to move in California, knew absolutely nobody. He had no contacts and all this. So what he decided to do is like just to start volunteering and get involved with all of those. And in Silicon Valley at the time, and he said that was in the 90s, mid-90s or something like that. That was when, like, you know, you had like the dot-com boom, and everybody was there, and the price was like skyrocketing. It was just crazy. So what he did is he decided to volunteer for some events. And when you do volunteering, now people will expect you to do this and that, and they give you like some task, and then you just do them. But most people are doing the strict minimum. And this is where the very first problem is you cannot do the strict minimum, because now you're just one among others. What he decided to do is to start like emptying the trash and go after, you know, checking for the coffee. Is the coffee pot is like, can I help with something else? And he started to make himself visible by the organizers. So as he continued doing this, what happened to him is he started to be invited to be on the boards for the next event. And he started to be asked questions. Okay, so what should we do for those events and so on? Why? Because he did the extra mile, as what it's written there. No? That little more, which is worth all the rest. That is how that you're going to make an impression. Most people they don't care really. Like, you know, they want the job done, but the job description is not what you should do. You should work a little bit more, which will do is that little extra will make people, first of all, recognize you, but as well pay attention to who you are. And through this, they will come and they will say, you know what, like, I like this little kid. I like this person. Let's make sure that he's going to be there next time. Because he's helping everybody. He's making our event better. No, the way that you're approaching things, the energy that you're putting out, which basically is the law of cause and effect, the energy that you're putting out is the same energy that's going to come back to you. So by doing this, he was able to select which event that he's going to be part of. And now when the invitees and the speakers are coming, which one of them was Jack Canfield, then you start creating connection with those people. And he just knew, he's like, you know, I want to know those people, but don't do this with the expectation that I'm gonna network. I'm gonna really network, you know, I'm gonna get their cards and all. Nobody doesn't care really about that part. It's really give. Don't try to get. And through that, he started developing a relationship with Jack Canfield. And what happened through this is that once a month, now for rare occasion, not like all the time, but like when that was a very important question, he was just writing to him and says, hey, you know, like, what do you think would be the best thing if like, you know, I'm working on a book and I would like to do this and that. And through this, what happened is Jack Canfield introduced him to his book agent, which the rest became history. And then he became a millionaire, like almost overnight, because he had the right book, because he had the right idea, because he had the right contact. Everything came together. But all this started because he did his work, but not a little more for the lavishing sake, that little more which is worth all the rest. And if you suffer, as you must, and if you doubt, as you must, do your work. Every time you're thinking, oh my God, you know, maybe I shouldn't do that, this is exactly where that you have to do your work. But a little bit more than what is expected from you. And if you do that, that little more is going to pay off later on. You don't know how. You don't know from whom, but it will. That is the law. So you've got to give. And I love what Key is saying right now. It's like the intention is to give. You've got to give. You've got to give. The more you give, the more you'll receive. Word from which book? That sounds great. As I just said, servant, it's coming from Dean Briggs. Okay, let me write it down. Do your work. Nice. Is there any question? Is there something you would like to address this morning that I can help you with? Jonathan says, in order to get paid for more than you do, you must first be willing to do more that you're paid for. This is such a very powerful sentence, and that is just part of leadership, by the way. If you want to become a leader, if you want to move to the next level, the next step, you've got to be willing to do more than what you're paid for. And then people's going to start paying attention. And if you're becoming too big for where you are, other people's going to start paying attention, and they're going to come to you. And they're going to say, you know what? I want you to come and work for me. That is that is just a question of time. The problem for most of us is we are extremely impatient. We are extremely, we're looking for instant gratification, which I said it last time. I believe this is the cancer of this world right now, is nobody is willing to do things for the sake of doing it and to do a little bit more, so everybody profit from it. And if you do that, your entire surrounding is going to get better. And if imagine that your entire surrounding is doing this, everybody's getting better. So everybody's winning as we're moving forward. But most people just want to get, no, what is it for me? I remember I was talking with someone, and I'm saying to that person, you know, what are you doing? And he's just saying, well, I'm doing this. So that would be nice. Actually, I would like to talk with you later on, and we can see what we can do. And he says, yeah, okay, so what is it for me? That was the very first question that person asked me, without even seeing that there was a probable match. No, right away, it's like, what is it for me? So Sheena says, I get it. But if you are in a bad vibration of doubt and worry, it is a good time to do your work. Well, this is very interesting, because if you are in a bad vibration and you try to do work with other people, probably you're not going to connect well. But doing your work in this case would be like to go study, to take a moment and to really connect yourself, to align yourself first, and that will be doing your work. Your work in this case will be to study, to realign your energy, to realign your vibration. Does that make sense? I keep doing the work, but sometimes I feel it is too much. Why do you feel it is too much? A servant said, at my office, I do a lot more than others, but my payoff is too little. What's next? As I do more, other work is also allotted to me. I feel challenged, but it's burning me out. I'm getting peanuts. Well, I can feel just the way you're writing that you're doing this to get more. That's what I'm sensing into what you're writing right now. You're not doing something because you want to expect something. Like, you've got to look at where your intention is, because that's really what matters into this case. Okay. Adrian says internal work first. Absolutely. Okay, great, Sheena. Yes, you got it. You insert it in the previous. Perfect. Yeah, the work comes from within. That's the work that we're talking about in this case. It's not external work necessarily. It's really internal work. It's the work to align yourself, align your energy, to make sure that you're creating the proper vibration so you can get later. But as I just mentioned, Servant, you're looking to get. The reason why they give you more, and like, are you happy in your work? That's the very first thing that you have to ask yourself, you know. And are you doing things because you want to get something, or you're doing things because, like, you really have the intention that you want to help everybody in your surrounding? That is the key in this case, right? Bikram says, well, I love what I do. and I have support of my team and I'm working with. And I have the support of my team I'm working with. My team stays motivated because I have developed an environment in my office. Do your work, right? And exactly, like your team's gonna do more as well than what they paid for because they love what they do. Like we're not made to work. Work is made for us. And by the way, when you're working should be for satisfaction. We're working for satisfaction. To get paid and to earn money, you're providing service, which is totally different things. And right now, it's really funny because I started like looking at my source of income, and I like by looking at it, I just realized that I have multiple sources of income, which money is coming from different sources. And I never really took the time to stop and pay attention to that. And why is that? Is because I love what I do. Like my psychic source of income, which is my work there. Like when I do a live like this, I'm not getting paid. Nobody's paying me for doing this. I'm doing this because I love what I do. I love to share. I love to connect with you guys. I love to give you maybe a little piece of something that you're going to apply, and then you're going to get results. And if I can do that, well, I'm getting paid through the energy and the good vibe that I'm sending. So you guys are going maybe after this live and you say, wow, oh, that was cool. Like, okay, so I'm going to do my work. And it's like, Mark, thank you so much. That was good. You really helped me, blah, blah, blah. Because of that, what you're doing, because energy penetrates all time and space, you're sending me good energy. So this is the psychic source of income. The monetary income comes from providing service. So this is the service that I'm providing to my clients, to my team, to my prospect, to all of the people around, which eventually turns into money and businesses. That is how that you're earning money. So you've got to understand how money works and how to earn money if you want to have a life which is fulfilled. And then you're going to do your work, which your work is your psychic source of income. That's really where that you should put your effort. Your monetary source of income, that's a total different thing, right? And people are mixing up this all the time. And I'll come back. Actually, I'm going to say it right now. While I was doing my event, a lot of people were excited, motivated, inspired, and they said, yeah, I want to change. And as they start moving and they start having a talk and wanted to get involved with the program, now all of a sudden the paradigm kicked, right? So their habitual behavior came into the equation, and then they start like finding excuses for themselves. Oh, I don't want to invest money in myself, or I don't want to stress myself and to find money for a program, which they don't understand that the money they're investing in themselves, that is where the work is. But they let their paradigm, they let their conditioning control their behavior. And as long as you're doing this, you will never be in control of your life. You will be a victim of whatever is happening into your life. So it's very important that you understand how money works, how you need to do your work if you want to get the results that you're looking for. Because if you're not doing this, you will stay exactly where you are. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years will pass by and you'll say, like, where's all those years have been? Because you haven't taken the time to do what needed to be done. Bikram said, I still feel I have to do more than my job and want to do more for the farmers, for young engineers in community. I have limited time, but I am studying most of successful person, books, and online material. I do follow your wise advice. Still, I am not able to add additional source of income apart from my daily job. That's because you don't understand how it works, Bikram. And you can, I mean, what you're doing is a common mistake, is that you do studying. Is that what you're writing? But I am studying most of successful person. You do study successful people, but there's no methodology behind it, and you don't know, most of the study you're doing is not applicable. And I can talk by experience because I've done that from 1999 to 2013, actually 2015, if I want to be honest, because the first couple of years I did not get the results that I was looking for. So most people you've got the material. You don't need to gather more knowledge. You need to apply what you already know. And what you already know is sufficient to create businesses, to create multiple sources of income, and to create more revenues. The problem is you don't know how to apply it. And because you don't know how to apply it, then it creates that frustration. It puts you into a bad vibration, and then you're not capable of creating new results in your life. So you need a methodology which is proven, which, by the way, we have, and I can help you with, and we had that conversation in the past, but we all defaulting always to the money. And when you realize that the money will come from the moment that you make a decision and you say, you know what, I'm going to do that, all the resources are going to be shown to you. They're going to come, and they're coming like from the most bizarre place. And I see this because that's what me and my team are doing every single day. Okay, so that is the challenge that you're experiencing, and that is the challenge that you have to face, and you have to take by the balls, and you say, you know what, I'm going to change that. But it starts with a decision. Adrian was just talking to my dad at dinner, and he said that the people he promotes at work are those willing to accept more responsibility before they ask for a pay raise. Put wood in the fire before you ask for the heat. There you go. Now, Adrian is a member of my team, and he's one of the leaders of my team. And his dad has a company. And business owners, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for the people which are willing to do more than what they're paying for without asking for anything in return. They just do it. They just do it, and they just, they're there to serve. And the more you're serving without expecting anything in return, and as well without having that intention that if I serve and if I give more, I'm going to get something. Because you feel the intention, if it's real or not. You feeling as like, oh, that person is looking to get something. No. Are you doing it like freely because you want to share with other people? Okay? Those who earn money give first, and they know the universe will reward them. Absolutely. That's a law, right? Give and you shall receive. I mean, that's even in the Bible, for God's sake. But it's so misunderstood, it's so used the wrong way, that people are like, they're expecting, okay, I'm going to give, so I'm going to get. No, it's not the way it works. Your intention is everything. Are you giving freely? You've got to willingly give and graciously be willing to receive when it's coming. But don't expect like, I'm giving you something, okay, so what I'm going to get now. No, don't do that. So if we're going back to do your work, now I want to just complete with this piece, which is very powerful, which is a piece from Thomas Troward, which is called Entering into the Spirit of It. And that's in the book, The Hidden Power. Now he says, entering into the spirit of it. What a common expression. And yet, how much it really means. How? Absolutely everything. We enter into the spirit of an undertaking, into the spirit of a movement, into the spirit of an altar, even into the spirit of a game. And it makes all the difference, both to us and to that which into we enter. Now, listen to this, because that's very important. When we say do your work, we're saying do your work by entering into the spirit of what you're doing. That's it. So if you do your work with that spirit. Because if you have that spirit, because what he says here is a game without any spirit is a poor affair. Your work without any spirit is a poor affair. So you can be working, but if you don't have the spirit of giving the best of yourself, your work will lack something, and we cannot touch it. An association in which there's no spirit fall to pieces. So if you do your work, if I go back, do your work, not just your work and no more, but a little more for the lavishing sake. That little more which is worth all the rest. If you're putting this and you're putting some spirit in it, some love, some desire to do better, everything around it will be better. And that's the idea of doing your work. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Don't forget, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the 9th of April, we are having a webinar. We're going to put the link later on into this, and you can click, you can subscribe. I really invite you to get into this. If you are business owners, if you are at the point of breaking right now, meaning that your business is doing really, really well, but somehow you just hit a wall, you feel burnt because you cannot move to the next level, I really invite you to come to this. I will give you some advices that we are applying in our own business, and it's working extremely well. And that is something that I've been asked multiple times now. So we decided that we're going to share this, and I believe that that's going to help you if you want to move to the next level. So have a fantastic week. Make sure that you're sharing with other people what you're doing, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.